began to invade my vision, he pulled away, both of us panting, and I stumbled to the ground, the freezing ice on my bare hands.
Get up. We're going to be late for school,
Edward said, helping me to my feet, his long fingers wrapped around the top of my arm as he led me to the car. What the fuck, Edward? I pulled my arm from his grip, stopping in the driveway, and refusing to move. If he thought I was going to ride to school with him after that bullshit, he was insane. I folded my arms across my chest as he turned to look at me, his face quiet and emotionless. I'm not going anywhere with you, not after that kiss, if that's what you want to call it, I barked at him. What the hell was that for?
You didn't like the kiss?
Edward said, walking slowly toward me. My heart pounded as he approached. He stood close, his nose practically touching mine, before bringing his hand to touch my cheek. I flinched slightly as he grazed my face, the caress gentle and careful, a direct contradiction to his previous behavior.
Bella, you didn't like the kiss?
He asked again, his warm breath washing over me.
I'm sorry. I want you so much, Bella, to just be happy. It's all I ever want. You didn't like the kiss?
I didn't know what to say. I felt horrible, the disappointment in his eyes, the hurt, the betrayal, all staring back at me expectantly now. Maybe I overreacted, maybe he didn't mean anything by it. Maybe he was just being passionate and I had gone and misinterpreted it. I felt so horribly foolish and confused, like a complete piece of shit. The kiss was great, Edward. I'm sorry, I just didn't sleep well last night, I muttered, his eyes softening as I spoke.
I know. It's okay. Come on, we're going to be late. You're riding with me today.
Edward took my hand, his slender fingers lacing into mine as he led me to the car. We rode to school in silence, his hand gripping mine the entire time, my stomach jumping and turning with apprehension. I suddenly remembered the missing gardener and thought I'd mention it to Edward, in case it was related to Elisa's disappearance in some way. Edward, I saw something on the news today, about your old gardener. He went missing on Monday just like Alice. Do you think it could be related? Do you think she ran away with him? I rambled the ideas as they came to me, the thoughts flowing from my brain as Edward sat silent in his driver's seat.
Why would it be related?
Edward asked quietly, the Volvo accelerating. As he spoke. I don't know, didn't they have a relationship? I asked, confused. I thought the nature of Alice and Jasper's interactions had been obvious.
Why would she have a relationship with the help? That is utterly repulsive, Bella.
Edward spat, his hand gripping the steering wheel. The help? He's just a normal guy, a college student. He's no more the help than I am. Are you repulsed by me? I retorted furiously, his arrogant, elitist attitude wearing thin on my patience. I glanced out the window, the landscape blurring beside me. Shit, why were we going so fast?
Bella, you're special, different from the small-town folk that fester here,
Edward remarked. I'm not though. I'm just as boring, just as small-town, just as festering as the rest of them. Just like Jasper Whitlock, I stated stubbornly. Fear and nausea began to growl in my stomach as the streak of trees outside my window made my head spin. Edward, can you slow down? I feel sick.
Why do you keep bringing him up? Did you like him, or something? You liked his attention, the way he smiled at you, chewing his fucking toothpick. Did he make you feel special, Bella? Attractive? Wanted? Well, let me tell you something about Jasper Whitlock. He was a complete asshole. All he was ever looking for was another girl to take advantage of, just like he took advantage of my sister. She knew this, that's why she got rid of him.
Edward ranted fiercely, his driving becoming more erratic with every accusation. His words were disturbing and caused guilt to simmer beneath my skin, the crimson blush crawling up the back of my neck. I closed my eyes, trying to calm the boiling in my belly. Jasper Whitlock had made me feel special, the brief interaction nothing at all really. Still, it was something other than complete indifference. So yeah, the attention had made me feel attractive. This made me feel horrible, like I had betrayed Edward in some way. I reached across the space to connect to him, my hand resting on his arm. "I'm sorry. I just thought I don't know. I'm just really worried about Alice and I'm trying to think of anything that might help," I said sincerely, trying to ease some of the tension and get him to slow down. It worked, his face softening. As he looked over at me, his foot relenting off the gas.
"You're worried about Alice?"
he mumbled, his normally clear eyes clouded. "Of course. Alice is my friend, it would kill me if anything happened to her," I said, perplexed. The scenery outside began to slow and I tried to roll down the window to get some fresh air. "Please? Can you unlock the windows, please?"
"Don't worry, Bella. Everything's going to be fine. I would never let anything hurt you. You are my life now, Bella. You're all I have left,"
Edward said, his eyes on me the entire time. The car veered into the oncoming traffic lane as Edward steered without looking. My eyes oscillated back and forth between Edward and the road, thankful the highway was somewhat vacant this morning. Still struggling to roll down the window. "Please, Edward. Your driving is scaring me, please pull over, I feel sick." I really did feel sick, but I was mostly worried about him driving while he was obviously so emotional. Something was wrong. I couldn't tell if it was just his panic over his sister, or if he was really this upset about the gardener, but something was off and it was starting to worry me. He just kept driving, turning his attention back to the road, and ignoring my pleas. The rest of the week passed and Alice never returned. The Forks Police Department was investigating the case now, and with their incessant questioning, Edward's behavior became more and more erratic. He became unpredictable, secretive, and quiet. I just didn't know what to expect from him and I was afraid to speak, petrified I would say something that would set him off. He was a live wire, the constant risk of electrocution present, as he lay exposed, daring me to make contact. I just kept trying, his words lashing out at me as I jerked my hand back time and time again, the shock and sting scarring my soul, but I refused to walk away. He needed me right now. I was all he had left. A week had passed, and still no Alice. All I could think of were Esme's words, her fears just kept ringing in my head. "I just don't know what he'll do." The wind stirred around me as I walked up to the porch to Edward's house, a soft rain beginning to mist. The sky was dark, the purple clouds billowing high in the sky as I wrapped my coat around me. It was going to storm tonight, the smell of it in the air as I rapped slightly on the Cullens' door. The house was silent and dark, highly uncharacteristic for this time of evening. Usually, Esme was preparing dinner, her husband frequently absent due to his highly demanding position at the hospital. Edward was always waiting for me though, expecting my arrival, but today no one stirred within the white walls. I knocked again, ringing the doorbell as well, thinking that maybe they just hadn't heard me. I stood on the porch for 10 minutes, before trying to open the door. I tried the latch, the metal freezing on my fingers. It was unlocked, the door swinging open before me, the entryway illuminated slightly by the twilight sky. "Hello? Edward?" I called into the quiet house, my voice echoing through hall. It was then that I heard it, the soft melodic purr of strings and horns offset by the deep croon of a classic voice, the vibrato low and radiating, seething with imperfections, as the record scratched from upstairs. I recognized the voice at once, a voice of a different era, and I flicked on the light in the entryway. The darkness quieted as the warm glow flooded into the room. I instantly eased, walking more confidently now as I climbed the stairs to Edward's bedroom.
"'Cause you're mine, the breeze that hurries by becomes a melody, and why? Because you're mine."
The voice grew louder as I reached the landing. The Italian icon smooth voice surprisingly not coming from Edward's room, but from another room, a room that had been silent, vacant, empty for the last week. Elisa's room.
"I only know for as long as I'm